Okay. Topic for Lipi.
I thought I was safe.
Okay. Are you ready?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Taking no decision is also a decision. Taking no decision is also a decision. Toastmaster Lipi.
Taking no decision is also a decision. I completely agree with that. When you take no decision, you are in effect deciding not to do a lot of things that you probably had lined up for the day. So if I decide that today I am not going to be binge watching Netflix, then I have the time to do something else. So that is a decision that I did not take and which actually helped me do something more productive. Or I could take a decision and say I wouldn't do anything the whole day and lie down on my bed. That would be absolutely pleasurable for me after the stress of the week. A weekend with nothing to decide, nothing to do will rejuvenate me and help me do better the next week. So what I feel is anything that we do or don't do, you always have a repercussion to that. If you are aware of that repercussion, well and good. If not, when it happens, you do realize what is happening with you. Thank you, and over to you, Toastmaster Millen.
Thank you, Toastmaster Lipi. Very well. Rightly said. And in fact, this was there was a quote by our very well-known Prime Minister of our country who decided not to take a decision on a very important thing. And that's very, and then he was asked, he said, yes, that was my decision. Because either way, if I've taken, it had created more problems. And if you are, so that is why to avoid that, that was he said, and that's what we see quite often. So there are some riots are there, especially in France. They say that every 6 months they have a riot. And they're allowed to do that. After that, they cool down. And then it becomes everything becomes normal. So that's one of the French citizens' anger. They just, for some reason, they're angry and they will go on the street and do something. And those times, police will not be very strict. After that, sometimes they will notice everything and then may just catch few of those naughty fellows. But that is also important. Otherwise, they say if we do, there will be more bloodshed than what they are creating problem. Okay, they are breaking something, they are breaking, doesn't matter, but there is not, no one is dying. So that is also a very politically, there's a lot of people do handle that way. So thank you, Toastmaster Lipi, for coming as a table topic master and as an evaluator for a great job you have done. And now with this, we move to the part 3 of our feedback section. So as a general evaluator, may I request the evaluator number 1 for the speech number 1, Libby Abraham, to give her evaluation for Toastmaster Joseph's speech, A Decade Without You.
Thank you, Toastmaster Millen. At the onset, I would like to thank Toastmaster Joseph for that very poignant and touching message that you gave us through your speech. You took us along with you on the various ordeals that you faced through your life. The honesty and integrity of your feelings were very evident in your voice. The anguish that you felt when your wife was diagnosed with blindness came across to me very clearly as an audience. Or when you called out to God in despair, that despair I could feel. So that is a mark of a good a speech, that your feelings were very, very clearly coming across to me as an audience. Uh, in your last speech, one of the feedbacks that was given to you was to improve on your voice modulation. So I would say that you have definitely achieved that, and you showed a lot of variety in the voice modulation. And a couple of other feedback that was given to you was to manage your camera presence and stage management. Even that, when you were standing up, ideally it's always better to give a speech standing up, so you have more space to move around. So you used your stage well, your camera presence, your camera angle was well kept. So what I would say is that you have definitely achieved the speech objective of this particular speech. I do have a few recommendations. Now, when you started off the speech, your question was, how many of you actually love your wife? Now, what that effectively did was it alienated the women in your audience because it felt like you were speaking only to the men. A better way to phrase that question would have been, how many of you actually love your spouse? Because it could happen either ways. Consider that for your next speech. Another thing that I noticed was when you were playing characters between you and your wife, or between you and your doctor, they are two different characters with two different personalities. So your voice needs to depict that. When you were showing the characters, it was the same tone, the same voice modulation for both characters. If you could maybe change a little tone, go a pitch high or a pitch low, that will make the characterization more effective. Another thing that I felt was a disconnect between your title and your content. Your title mentioned a decade without you. Then you mentioned that it took you 30 years to, I think there was some 30 years that you're of from your wife. I couldn't quite understand. Honestly, I was a little confused. Was it a decade? Was it 30 years since your wife passed away? So that portion of it confused me a little. So if you could have been a little more clear, then that would have been better. All in all, it was a really great speech with a lot of emotion, lot of feeling that really, really came across to the audience, and we felt your message. Just be conscious of the word choices that you make in terms of how are you including the audience in your speech. Ensure the title and the content, there is no mismatch, and the characterization. If you consider these three aspects of it, I am sure your speech will go from good to great. Thank you, and over to you, General Evaluator.
Can I give you a little bit of a hint what I meant was? See, when I said she passed away in 2023, 2023 until now is a decade. I mainly spoke about from 2023 onwards till to date, I'm a Toastmaster. So that was the decade. Okay.
So Joseph sir, what you have to do now? So don't bring those 30 years. So say to year 2000, you start with year 2013.
That I told already.
After my retirement, I went to Singapore because 2013 to 2023. Okay, so that is your decade. So you make that point clear in the beginning itself.
I went to Singapore before that. Not at 2000.
When did your wife pass away? 2013, am I correct?
2013.
So you have to highlight
I was
that.
in Singapore 2012.
Huh?
I was in Singapore 2012 and my wife became sick.
In a 7-way speech, we don't know your background, no? So what Lipi madam is telling you. So in a short time, when the attention span is there, so you have to focus on that year 2013, 2 years, maybe a couple of times. So that will make sure the decade, the moment you say 2013 and today is 2023. So the decade becomes very clear. So just try to bring that message. That's what now, even now when you were telling, you were saying 2023. So that was not decade, that was like this year only. So that's why I'm saying just a suggestion. No. Otherwise, Lipi has given a fantastic evaluation that is to help you out. So just remember that. So in your speech in a 7 minutes time, to make sure there's no confusion that year 2000, because this is not your, this is, no, we are not going to cross-check your background. Which year you went to Singapore?
No,
which year,
it was 2013. I mean 2013, this is 2023 is a decade.
Correct. So that you have to make sure, so when you are making a story, you can twist and turn to make sure that decade is very clear from the very beginning. Okay, so that will make the point clear, because again you say I was in 2012 in Singapore, then again the decade will not be there, because your entire hero
decade
of the protagonist of your speech is your wife and you.
One thing I would like, she was alive. I calculated the decade from her death 2013.
Okay, fine.
So that is the reason.
No, it's okay.
Decade without you That means 2013 to 2023.
Okay,
Yes,
okay, fine.
yes, Toastmaster Joseph. I understood that after you clarified. All I meant was I got confused with the chronology in your speech. That was my what I was trying to get at.
Thank you so much.
So thank you, VP Abraham, for giving a eloquent evaluation for an eloquent speech of a very touchy speech of Toastmaster Joseph with a strong message for that. So let's give a round of applause to the evaluator, Toastmaster VP Abraham, and Toastmaster Joseph, the speaker. Now it's time for me as an evaluator for Toastmaster Adarsh's speech, which was regarding engaging the audience. So as far as Adarsh is concerned, the project was to handle a difficult audience. The way he took it from the beginning itself, he was in command. He asked questions. He waited for the response. So that way, already the audience was attracted toward him. And when it comes to the way he explained the money, because that is something very critical. At the same time, way he went into the thing with his confidence, and the energy was very clear. So that passion in him, what he is doing, he's not giving a speech. He's actually giving a speech to his prospective clients. That was coming outside from his face, his body language, the command over the things on his subject matter. And even when the audience tried to ask questions, in fact, tried to heckle him, he was very cool and he said, that's a great question. So audience was already pacified. So he did not try to overrun the audience. So that's a great question, accepted. And then you explain the way you should, that amount of experience which you had for an audience who was maybe his father's age or even grandfather's age. So that was beautifully handled. So that is what is required in this speech, and he did the thing absolutely to the T. So kudos to other Toastmaster others for completing this particular project the way the project requirement was there. And others, how much time did you take for the entire thing?
I think it was 11 minutes. 11 minutes.
Oh, that's
and
great. So
52
anyway,
seconds.
you had time till 15 minutes. So in spite of asking questions and everything, you did a great job. Now, as a suggestion to make this speech better, so somehow I felt when questions were asked, you could have, the response was not coming, then you could have pointed, okay, Milind sir, I have a question to you. So make sure Milind sir or Lipi ma'am or Joseph sir or Jaikan respond to you. So push them with their names. So even in the actual audience, when you, okay, gentlemen, what's your name? May I ask you a question? So I'll take a permission. Then he says yes. So that also is important. Sometimes when because that's what you want. When you go into live audience, there may be young college students. For them, okay, because the professor has told them, okay, someone is coming, go and attend. So they are not bothered. So they will just want to finish. So they're asking their name or getting the name beforehand. And then, hey, you asking, okay, Shyam, what do you think? What Seema, what do you think? So that way, we'll make sure the audience actually asks you questions and you interact with them. So that way, even it will help you to handle the audience who are now, they were inattentive. So they know now this gentleman is going to catch them. So they will also on their toes. So that's just a suggestion. So that will be easier. Otherwise, beautiful. Great job. So remember this point. Otherwise, great. So kudos to Toastmaster Adarsh and the evaluator who gave the speech for his speech. Now, may I ask, of course, today, time as a timer, can you just give your timing for the entire thing? So today you can be tough. We worked with each one of us because of a lot of challenges which we had.
Thank you, Milind. I'll just quickly go ahead with my timer report. I'll make it very brief and quick. Actually, to confess, I have not been a very good timer today. Just for the record, I think I have not displayed the cards on a couple of occasions, so I'm sure some of you noticed. Some of you eagle-eyed people may have noticed. Milind sir, I think you took around 2 minutes and a couple of seconds as the Sergeant of Arms today. The presiding officer, myself, I filled in for Joseph sir. I took 3 minutes and 14 seconds. And the Toastmaster of the day, Milind sir, actually we had a little bit of time on the agenda today. And I was hoping that as a Toastmaster today, you'd probably take a little bit more time, and I'm glad you did. You took a little over 10 minutes. That is twice the amount of time that was given, but that is okay. That is totally okay. And then the general evaluator, that is yourself. I'll come to that in a bit. I had just simply mentioned your name and not the time. Couple of speeches. Joseph sir's speech was exactly for 6 minutes and 59 seconds. And my speech, actually, it was not 11 minutes and 52 seconds. I had misread it. It is actually 13 minutes and 1 second. I had written 11 minutes somewhere down there and I confused it for that. It is 13 minutes and 1 second, which is still within time, I hope. And then, Milind, so your evaluation, I think you were actually well within time. I have not written it down here. I'll have to check the timer. You were well within the 3-minute mark. Libby, you took 3 minutes and 30 seconds precisely. A grammarian, Deepa, has yet to talk. And then you have the table topic speakers, Toastmaster Joseph, you took 2 minutes and 20 seconds. Myself, I don't think I delivered a table topic. The second speaker was whom exactly? The second table topic speaker, I cannot quite recollect. Anyway, I'll come back to that. Jaykant, you took 1 minute and 47 seconds. Libby, you took 1 minute and 9 seconds. By and large, I think most of us were well within time. Actually, there was Toastmaster Joseph. He was also well within time. And that is it from my timers report. I think most of us were well within time, except for the delay at the start of the meeting, which ate up nearly 25 to 30 minutes of time. Back to you, Milind.
Thank you, Toastmaster Timer. Let's give a lot of applause to him because he had to take multiple roles. He arranged for moving from Zoom to from Teams to Zoom. So that was a great job. And thanks, Jaykant, to join. And of course, our counter and Deepa grammarian can't continue. She had some problem. So let us skip that. But anyway, as a general evaluator, today it was really the theme was given, and these problems which came one after another was unique. And we, on the spur of moment, took decisions, and we had made sure we did not budge and made sure that the show went on in spite of limitations on time, limitations on platform not being available, speakers not available, vote takers not available, and still having it. So that's a great job, and that's what is required. And this is sometimes this is okay. It's a net practice. I always use Toastmasters meeting as a net practice for our professional when we go out. Even in some very professional events, such things do happen. But with this experience, we know there is always some other option. Okay, this is not happening, something else will be happening. So we can look for other options and make sure the show goes on. So that is also learning for us. So kudos to each one of us. Especially Adarsh, he also took the presiding officer role because Joseph sir could not join. Sorry, Joseph sir, we missed your presidential address today.
Anyway,
So I hand it back to the actual presiding officer for the evening to conclude this meeting.
Thank you so much, DTM Milanji. We have very few audience. Actually, today I wanted to speak on COP28. You know, I think everybody knows what is COP28. It's the United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres was speaking of warmest year. You know, the climatic condition. You saw the bird on my shoulder. I brought that specially because the bird wants to live in air-conditioned rooms. That means the bird cannot survive in outside temperature. So that was the point. And the last decade, 8 years, I would say, the temperature came from 1.29 to 1.5 degrees Celsius, which is the maximum, the global warming that will continue for some more years. And there will be a lot of things one has to do. And thereby, one of our environmental minister, he put it as a dedicated contribution. 190 countries are contributing for this one for developing countries. Already developed countries have no problem, but the developing countries like India and all those things, we are still on coal fire and the emissions are so much in the diesel and all those things. So we have to take care all this thing in this year so that, you know, we as a person use our energy as much as conservation as possible. That is the main aim of it. Is only from the energy you get all this pollution and so on. So that was my intention of giving a speech in the beginning itself. Somehow I don't want to miss this meeting, and others helped me in the Zoom. Zoom is always convenient for us. We have been working on that one. Now, I have one more announcement. Next week, we are having a round-up meeting, and this is a very ideal meeting. This is the second time we are having it. I think it is the third time. Others, it is third time, right? It is the third time we are having a round-up meeting, and this meeting is going to bring us the DCP points for us. I have two clubs which our DTM Milind sir gave me the information, and they both are agreed, and we have speakers. Everybody is divided, and I want that everything should come up before Wednesday. I will insist on them also, others to follow up in that group also, so that everything is perfectly done without any time waste. Most probably, more importantly, I would say the certificates. If we have the signature of the president, let it be, build the certificates for all presidents, all VPs, and all role takers only. So it will be a matter of 14 or something like that. Certificates are there. Kindly prepare and keep it, because there is not going to be any vote of this one. Vote will be taken for anything. Everybody's presentation is an appreciation one. So kindly connect with our president and find out what is the matter to be included. If she is not responding, I will be the one to do it for you. So we will do it everything on time. All the speakers, so I will be the TMOD on that day. And also there will be one speaker, that is Brahma Kumar. And evaluators, I think Milind sir can take an evaluator, and others can take another role as a grammarian. The 4 roles are only given to us, the same 4 for each of us. So this is the title, and make the certificates, everything ready, because they will put their names also in the group. Kindly check the group as much as possible. See that by Tuesday evening, everything is over, and we are publishing from Tuesday onwards or Wednesday onwards, so that a lot of publicity will bring back more and more people. So this is my announcement. So thank you so much for all the kindness Libby has shown. Abraham, I don't know how it so happened. Actually, my previous speaker was Deshmukh. Somehow I missed her, I think. But however, you have a very good evaluation for me. Thank you so much for that one. Thank you for your time and your response. You have taken a dual part. That is much more than what we expect from a guest speaker, guest evaluator, any guest that comes to our meeting. Thank you so much, Libby. And I wish that you always come to our meeting and enjoy it, because general evaluator we always give to outsiders. So this is what, and also evaluation also, because we can gain out of it, because we evaluate may not be that interesting as outsiders evaluating us. I mean, what I mean is the other club members evaluating. Anyway, thank you so much, and have a good evening. I would like Adarsh and Milind sir to remain for some more talk.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Joseph.
Yeah,
Toastmaster
thank you,
President,
Lipi, and
Toastmaster
make sure you join next the Lando meeting with 3 clubs. It's a Intel club, so where I was one of the mentors, club coach, and other club is First American Toastmasters Club. It's again both of them are corporate clubs.
It's when it's happening, I missed the
only.
date.
It's online, so we'll share the link.
Everything is online.
It is next week, actually.
Yeah.
Okay.
Same time.
It's
No,
on 15. On 22nd, we will have election. On 22nd, we will mainly have election.
Okay, I'll
Okay.
take your leave. You can continue with your business meeting. Thank you
Thank
so
you
much.
so much. God
Thank you,
bless you,
Libby.
Libby.
Thank you for having us. Thank you for joining
Thanks
us.
for your patience, Lippy, for
Mixing up my words.
be there for more than 2 hours now.
No
Thank you.
problem. Thank you.